Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We're having trouble streaming to your destination. Is it possible streams and deleted? Something is going on. I trying to go from. It's not going to happen today. I was trying to go live from Facebook as well as YouTube, but it's not in the cards because for whatever reason, StreamYard is not allowing it. But we're just going to go ahead and go with the flow. Y'all tend to find me on YouTube anyway, so we should be fine. But hi, everybody. I am Mambo Soleil. If it is your first time here, I am the Coven Mother of Vision of Dawn Tour. I'm the creator and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. I'm from Oakland, Hoodoo Baby, Child of Vodou, and I am here to give you guys a little bit of insight into what the week has in store for us ahead of us. This is a contribution I give to the community every week. Some of you guys may be trickling in because you saw me post in a group. You want to get a free question answered. There will be time for that. But the primary purpose of this reading every week is to do the weekly forecast reading. So if you're here to get a question answered, please wait until I'm done with the forecast. Once I'm done with the forecast, I will give you guys updates about things I'm working on so you can stay in contact with me as well as the ladies of my coven throughout the week if that's something that you're interested in and care about. Starting this week, I'm going to pick back up with my my old streaming schedule. So we will get back into the current affairs readings. We will get back into the Charm School lectures, first of which will be this Wednesday, 6 p.m. We're going to talk about what it looks like to end friendships in adulthood in a way that is responsible, respectful, and that allows you to have peace, right? Because that's a part of life. We want to think that spirituality saves us from conflict. It doesn't. It just gives us frameworks and tools for how to deal with conflict, deal with these other issues in our life. But that is for Wednesday. And the happy hour reading will be Friday. We'll talk later about this stream about what that looks like. For now, we're just going to go ahead and get into the weekly reading. Hi, Queen. Hi, Sanidra. Hi, Kodan. Hi, Miss Renee. Hi, Ferdasi. Hi, Ami ASMR. If you are already in the room and you've already said hi and I didn't say hi back to you, I see you and I'll say hi to you at some point through the stream. If you have not already introduced yourself, said hello to me, and hit those scale emojis, please do so. If you've been here before, you know the scales are really important to me. They give me energy throughout the reading. They let me know that you are in alignment with what I'm talking about. So make sure you hit those throughout this. Hey, Lovana. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Let's start with the general reading. We'll do general and then we'll do the other topics and then wrap this up. But let's see what the general energy is that's ahead of us for the week of November 4th through the 10th. My elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about these next 7 days ahead of us? What is the nature of any lessons, blessings, challenges, obstacles, or breakthroughs we will experience the week of November 4th through the 10th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our environment, and our choices that will allow us to navigate these energies in the best way possible? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I love the card that fell out. Let me move my phone. There we go. That's better. One of my favorite cards, but one of the most slept on cards in the deck fell out. I'm going to pull the spread first, see if I want to start with that card, if I want to start with the spread. Hold on a minute. And I am using Afro Anime this week. I've been using it for like the past month as my primary deck. And I will likely use either Pulp Girls or Game of Thrones to clarify throughout this reading. I think many of us have been used to trying to figure things out for our own this year, which has made sense for a lot of us because a lot of the breakthroughs we need and a lot of the questions we've been grappling with, particularly for the last half of this year, for the past 6 or so months, have been about individual breakthrough, have been about us being able to see our role in things, see certain cycles, patterns, and how to break those in our best interest. And even though that has been an immensely individual or personal path, it doesn't mean we have to figure it out alone. I think this is a week where we start to understand that it's okay to receive advice. It's okay to receive support, help from other people. Tapping into the people who are connected to us, who have reciprocal relationship with us, who want to see us really win, is going to allow us to move beyond the revelation, right? So if any of you guys have been in any programming with me, whether it's been a workshop, whether it's been currently free mentorship, or if it's been under my mentorship for any period of time, under my tutelage, you guys will often hear me talk about how shadow work is important and it's a foundation, but we have an obligation to move past it, right? And I feel like a lot of you guys are going to understand what that truly means this week in terms of, okay, these last 6 months have revealed a lot about yourself, about you, and your environment to you. What you do with the information to build the foundation that you want and to create the opportunities you want for yourself are what going to allow you to build the future that you want for yourself, right? Some of you guys may feel like energetically you've been getting kicked around. And learning is tough. We claim we want to be smart. We claim we want to learn. And then we get pissed when it's hard to learn lessons. But the reality is that all the hard lessons that we've learned, 7 of Pentacles, this is the card that fell in the shuffle, are positioning us so that we can build the kind of future we want for ourselves, so that we can plant the proper seeds, so that we can have the experiences, have the blessings, have the health, the vitality, the stable foundation to help your relationships we want in the future, right? So this is a week of, I'm going to use the word transmutation because that's the word the spirit is giving me. So how do you turn that wisdom into something tangible? Remember, the pentacles are about tangible things, earth, what we can touch, the body, right? So how do we turn seeds into a living thing? How do we prosper in that way where we take the wisdom we've accumulated and get a material result that sets us up for not only being able to understand our present moment, but to position ourselves for the future that we want, right? This has been the energy of the last 6 months for a lot of us. Hangman energy is not a comfortable energy for a lot of people. A lot of us don't want to look at ourselves. We just don't, right? Suspension can be uncomfortable. Being forced to look at yourself and look at your environment is uncomfortable. But the gift of that suspension, right, if we do it right, allows us to be able to see how we play a role in our own martyrdom, right? This baby in this picture got into this position of suspension where they are hanging and they can't get down for a reason, right? And part of it is generational. Part of it has nothing to do with them. Part of it can be somewhat sins of the father energy. And that's why I love this representation, because you see that spirit in the background that's also in suspension. Some of us are in suspension because of habits that were passed down to us, right? So that's what I mean when I say it's about revelation. It's about understanding your patterns. So if you can work with hangman energy correctly, you get that paradigm shift. You are able to look at the bigger perspective and understand what you need to do to get yourself down. But if you are hard-headed about shit, right, you can further perpetuate your martyrdom by not looking at yourself, by not looking at the changes you need to make. and it just puts you further in this victimized position. We don't have to be there. We don't have to be there. But for a lot of us, the reason why we are in this position is because we are so hyper focused on the things that we want, we don't look at the way we run over other parts of our life and create collateral damage, right? The chariot energy can be a beautiful energy because it's about ambition, drive to succeed, believing that you are so deserving of the things that you want that you never really stop going after them, right? That can be beautiful, but where some of us struggle is that even when life reveals to us that, because chariot energy is a solo energy, right? But sometimes the change that you need to make is one of embracing partnership, embracing feedback, looking in the mirror, being able to have people around you that, yes, reflect the best parts of you, but can also be honest with you about the parts of yourself that need refinement, right? That's Two of Cups energy. So yes, somebody who loves you enough to pour into you, but it's also an energy of steel sharpening steel, right? So asking yourself, are you taking in the information and the wisdom of the people around you who are in partnership with you, who want to see you win, who love on you? Are you taking that in? Or are you creating dynamics where you only want to hear from people when they're telling you good, nice things, right? Because that's the debilitation of Two of Cups, right? Under Two of Cups, we have another one of my favorite cards, Six of Pentacles. Charity, wisdom, overflow, support from other people, right? We forget that the representation in the Six of Pentacles, I think in older representations of like Rider-Waite decks, because the man looks kind of like a pope, we think that this is like a preacher or a pastor or somebody who's just pouring from, religious institution. No, this is a businessman, right? And most business people learn through experiential knowledge. So they've walked a path, and that's why they can turn around and be so generous with their not only material resources, but with their wisdom, the game that they pour into other people, right? So yes, it's charity, but it's charity that comes from institution. And when I say charity that comes from institution, I think people think about like welfare and shit or like scholarships. And it can be that. But think about what an institution is. It represents a knowledge base. It represents legacy. It represents history. Why am I harping on this? Some of you guys are ignoring wisdom from people that have walked the path that you want to walk. And you got to stop doing that. Allow yourself to have help from people who lived it, right? They're not coming through to give you game or to give you charity and give you support because they're arrogant and it is how they toot their own horn. No, the giving back of the wisdom is how they keep blessings in their field as well. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in the shame around accepting help that we don't stop and think about how the person, if they are a healed person and a healthy person, the person that is helping us gains from that as well. Stop being so selfish that you don't allow people to support you. I'm going to say it again because some of y'all love dearly and y'all need to hear this. Stop being so stubborn. Stop being so arrogant that you don't let people who love you support you, because they benefit from this charity as well. And I think some of you are so focused on, I got to do it on my own, I got to get it out the mud, that you don't understand how it is that you're limiting yourself and hurting yourself, right? And here's the thing, somebody who's helping you because they genuinely want to help you, and because they're paying it forward, because they walked that path and they know how difficult it is, they're not going to make your wins and your celebrations about them. That's something you have to understand. Four of Wands, yes, it's the home and it's a card of homecoming, but it's a card of hitting your milestones and the celebration of hitting your milestones. People who really want to see you win aren't going to make your wins about them. And you need to be able to trust in order to receive that kind of support. This is what's going to help you be able to move forward. I think some of you guys have been waiting for this big breakthrough. You're waiting for the world to tell you that you get to go. You're waiting for the world to tell you that you get to have progress. No, you just need to accept the help that's right next to you so that you can have the capacity to move forward and take those steps where you start to build your legacy and your empire. So, yes, that hangman energy is uncomfortable, but it's setting you up so that you can see how to value the new opportunities and the new beginnings and the blessings that are coming your way. So a lot of you guys are going to end the year taking those initial steps, again, going back to the 3 of Wands, that allow you to take advantage of those opportunities that you've been calling in. So give yourself permission to do the work of self-reflection now so that you don't complicate your opportunities. You don't miss out on your opportunities. You don't reject help when you're going to need it the most, right? And again, these are all things that position you so that you can have this 7 of Pentacles experience, so that you can plant the seeds now that position you to have the experiences and the bounty you want in the future. So that is the general reading. That's what I'm seeing in terms of the general message about what a lot of us are going to be grappling with, what we should be focusing on, what we should be paying attention to this week of November 4th through the 10th. Now let's look into what is in store. I'm going to start with health. I usually end with health, but Spirit is telling me to start with health. So let's look into our health and wellness for the week of November 4th through the 10th. Ancestors, angels, assistant masters, spirits, walk with me. My elevated ancestors. Ancestors, what wisdom do we need about our mental, physical, and spiritual health and wellness this next week? What are the habits we need to instill, the habits we need to maintain, and the habits we need to release in order to have alignment of mind, body, and spirit? Who do we need to be and what do we need to pay attention to about ourselves over this next week so that we can have strength and vitality in all areas of our life? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, JL. Hey, Sunflower. One of you guys has ill intentions that won't work out well for you. One of you guys watched this live to take inventory and to report back. You're doing more harm to yourself than you are to me or to anyone that you think you are. Spirit is snitching. I'm clairsentient. I'm not going to tell you the physical symptom I just had that made me pay attention to my candle and read it. You think that you are showing up as a badass with certain behaviors, but all it's doing is causing a strain on your health. The neurological problems you have, the migraines you have, the stress you have, it comes from your ill intentions. Work on your jealousies, work on your resentments and your projections towards other people, because you think it's just gossip and tea, but it actually but it has impact on your health, and it's literally draining your vitality. You never know what people have walking with them. They're the spirits they talk about, and then they're the ones that they don't mention, right? Some of you tend to get wrapped up in drama way too quickly and easily. And the reason why this is coming up is because it represents an emotional instability. Your emotional needs are not being met in your life in the ways in which that you need them to. You feel very emotionally insecure, and the way that you deal with that emotional insecurity is through gossip. You believe that that gossip is going to bring you closer to people. It will not. It will not. Be careful about the things that you say impulsively. Aries can have a tendency to speak before thinking. And in doing that, they can cause a lot of damage. They can run over people. They can run into things. It can make them appear very selfish in an unnecessary way, in a very reckless and self-indulgent way. And now, whether you are in Aries or not, this is a debilitation of Aries that we can all learn from in terms of how it causes complication in our life. and specifically how it causes complication in community, right? Some of you guys have the blessing of being around community that you have prayed for and called in, but you are acting ignorantly and not using that community to your benefit, right? So what happens when we are in spaces with people that we are nervous about? We overtalk. We throw other people under the bus. We make projections in order to deal with our discomforts and our feelings of unworthiness in those groups, right? So this is an issue of how your feelings of unworthiness allow you to project and act recklessly in social environments. You think that you are getting over on the people that you're talking badly about. People know you're insecure. They know you're insecure. So you're telling on yourself and you're positioning yourself to not get your needs met. When Queen of Cups is in debilitation, she is overworked, she is exhausted, her cup, her vessel is empty. People are expecting stuff from her and clinging to her, but she's giving from her drops, not her overflow. So rather than escaping through talking about other people, this is a time where you need to make sure that your emotional needs are being met. Why is this coming up in a health reading? Words are spells. And sometimes the things that we want to believe we are casting over other people, we're casting over ourselves. Stop being a lonely, miserable bitch and find a way to bring yourself some joy. It's that simple. Because that lack of joy that you are engaging in because you are trying to win the support of people of influence, those people of influence aren't really they are aware of their worthiness, right? Six of Wands is a very worthy energy. They are aware of their worthiness and they're aware of how their worthiness is impacted by their influence. So they're not going to compromise themselves to make you feel better. No, you got to do the journey. You got to take the journey of figuring out what it means to give yourself what you need. Kodan said it's that simple. Absolutely. So this is about you being able to move forward and work through your issues of self-worthiness that allow you to have an empty cup, that allow you to be hyper dependent on external validation rather than projecting them onto other people. Because again, you think you are hurting those other people. No, you are not. You are only highlighting your emotional deficits, your feelings of unworthiness, and positioning yourself to be prey to more powerful people than you. So beware. Final card, Queen of Pentacles. What can you do to give yourself healthy patterns, to provide yourself the stability that you need, right? Because in order to deal with those feelings of unworthiness, you have to give yourself tangible actions, tangible results, marching orders, right? Literal physical things you need to do, right? It's through tactile process that we learn to rewire the negative thoughts in our brain. So rather than running your mouth and talking about other people, what can you do to pour into yourself? Are you going for walks? Are you connecting to nature? Are you eating really delicious, healthy food, right? Me and my girls are doing a 21-day fast right now. So I'm having to eat really healthy, and that's making me reflect over what it is I consume. That consumption may not be literal food for some of you guys, right? You seeing shit on the internet and then getting mad at the next bitch and then talking bad about them because you feel insecure. What are you consuming? What are the tangible physical things that you are engaging in that are setting you up to continually be at emotional deficit? So some of you guys got to change your literal physical habits. Spend less time on the internet. Spend less time talking to people who gossip, because then it just brings out the gossip in you and it doesn't work in your favor the way that you think it would. Hang out with people that are exercising sobriety right now. Put the drink down, put the blunt down. In addition to having a strict diet right now, I haven't smoked weed in almost 3 weeks. Some of you guys know that's a big deal for me, right? But there are things that some of you guys need to let go and do. Stop engaging in the escapism of projecting onto other people and gossiping, and put that energy into better care for yourself and for your body, because that is the thing that's going to bring you the feeling of worthiness that you long for deeply and that you are resentful towards other people for having. Stop talking shit about people. That is a health issue. It is spiritually unhygienic. And you may not understand it that way. You may not understand the literal deficit it's putting on your heart to always be talking about other people, always be projecting onto other people when you could be using that energy to refine yourself. That is the health message for this week. The health messages be fascinating me because they be right. And the wisdom is always a blessing. But I feel like the ways that the messages around health get delivered to me are always really interesting. I don't know. I'm into it. I'm really into it. Let's look at money next, and then we'll wrap up with love. Ancestors, angels, so Spirit is telling me to use Pulp Girls. So even though I love Afro anime, I'm gonna listen, and we're gonna use Pulp Girls for the money message. Elevated ancestors with wisdom. Do we as a collective need about our relationship to money and the flow of money in our life over this next week? What are the lessons, blessings, insights, and challenges, the breakthroughs we will experience in the financial realm of our life this week? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. My Cash App and my PayPal are scrolling below. So if you would like to leave a love offering, feel free to do so. They are not required, but they definitely are appreciated. Also, if you guys are in any groups in Discord and Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere, go ahead and share the link to this reading. We got a good number of people in the chat tonight, but the more is always merrier. So go ahead and let people come on in. Some of you guys have done a lot of work to call in financial increase or to call in financial opportunities. Some of you guys have a really bad habit of, once you receive the blessing you worked for, instead of doing, here's the thing. I think sometimes we think that because our ancestors are our ancestors, that they will not hold us accountable for our actions. Your ancestors absolutely will take their hand off of you if it means that it teaches you a lesson, especially a lesson that they've been asking you to learn and you've been too hard-headed to take on. Some of you guys will ask for financial blessing. And here's an interesting thing, not a single pentacle card in this spread, but this is a powerful message. Some of you guys will ask for financial blessing. And then once you get the blessing, instead of following through on what you promised to do with the blessing and understanding that that shows gratitude to spirit, some of you guys get wrapped up in your impulses, in your base urges, and you will do impulsive shit with that money. Understand, every time you do that, you cause damage to your destiny. You are taking yourself off of a path that you promised to walk, and there will always be consequences for that. So some of you guys wonder why you keep ending up in the same financial situation or position. Really sit with yourself with this week and ask yourself, okay, the last time I prayed myself out of this situation, I told God, I told my ancestors, I told, if you're working with deity and you're doing this goofy shit, then you're going to learn the hard way. I said I was going to do this and I didn't do it. And really ask yourself if you had to deal with consequences for that. Because if you're real, you have. If you're real, you have. We have the Page of Wands. Somebody who's been blessed with a new beginning around their passions, new opportunity to root their passions into reality, which is how some of you guys pray for money. I need a new car. I want to buy a new home, or I want to move into a new apartment. God, support me with this move. Right? So you guys do a really good job at manifesting and calling in an opportunity that allows you for a new position and a new restart. But because some of you guys don't know how to control or manage your desires, right? Knight of Cups is the energy of desire. It's an energy of courting. It represents literally the loins, right? Because some of you guys don't really know how to control your desires in the ways in which you need to, you end up making these really rash, impulsive decisions. And you can kind of run over your opportunities, run over the promises you made to other people in ways that are not really helpful, right? It shows ingratitude, and what you should be doing is doing the things you said you were going to do with your blessings, right? Keeping your promises to spirit will keep your cups full. It will keep your cups overflowing, right? But because some of you guys don't keep your commitments to your destiny, you don't keep the promises you made to spirit, you end up altering and pulling the wheel out of your favor, right? So really think about, okay, I told my spirits I was going to do this with the money. I said I was going to invest it in Bitcoin. I'm just making some shit up, right? But I turned around and I bought a purse with it. Can you really be surprised when your destiny was agreed upon between you and your spirits and you go against it, and then the next thing you know, you're struggling, right? You have all this baggage on your shoulders. You are having to slow down. Your projects are not coming together as quickly as you asked, right? The long and the short of this reading, I know I said a lot, but I only needed to say a little. Some of you guys are dealing with financial problems because you are not doing with the money what you told spirit you would do. And it's that simple. You can't tell spirit, please help me out so that I can pay for rent. And then you are blessed with the rent money. And then you go out and you get caviar and drinks. What did you think was going to happen? Yes, you're going to have burden because they're going to be slow to help you a second time. They're going to be slow to bail you out, if they bail you out at all, because you need to learn that difficult lesson about the cost of not keeping your word. Some of you guys don't understand the cost of not keeping your word and how that has a literal direct impact on your finances. Start keeping your word. Keep your word to yourself and keep your word to spirit. If spirit blesses you with an increase for you to put towards your business, put that money towards your business. Don't put it into flossing and flexing for other people. If spirit blessed you for money for a move, use that money for a move. Don't pay for a vacation with you in your situationship. Priorities. And understanding enough about your emotional desires and the ways in which sometimes your emotional desires can make you betray yourself so that you can stop that shit instead of letting it happen over and over again and then putting extra burden on your shoulders from trying to pull yourself out of the deficit you created for yourself. That is the money message this week. I want to go back to Afro anime for love. And then after I'm done with the love reading, I will take questions from the audience. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spiritual wealth, being elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about love and romance in our lives over this next week? What are the experiences, lessons, blessings, and breakthroughs that we will experience as it relates to matters of the heart? Will we have breakthrough in terms of romantic love, familial love, community love, self-love? What are the areas of love that will be highlighted for us this week? And how do we navigate them? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Impulses keep coming up. Impulse keeps like some of you guys, and it makes sense. Mars just entered Leo today. and it's going to be in Leo until January 5th. Mars in Leo is very much about about reputation and getting what you want. But that fixed energy can also be very stubborn, and it can lead to blow-ups around ego. The two cards that fell out while I was shuffling were the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. Yeah, so very first card that came up is the Sun. I can't make this shit up. So the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands are two really interesting cards. I talk about the 5 of Wands a lot. It's the card of the bully. It's petty disputes and arguments. It is childlike behavior that leads to childlike conflict, right? A need to dominate other people in order to feel good about yourself. And then the 8 of Wands, it can be Cupid's arrows sometimes, right? And that's probably partially what's being said here. But it's also about quick change and forward movement. Some of you guys, if someone is moving and elevating, you cannot bully them into being smaller for you. All you can do is figure out, if you really love them, how can I move at the pace that they are at so I can keep up with them? But when you try to bully them or fight them or dominate them, you will end up losing them. So this is a week where you are really being called to ask, am I showing up in a way that is loving, that allows for new connection, that will put me in alignment with these people that I want to be close to so that I can move with them? Or am I showing up in a way where I want to fight them and I want to humiliate them and I want to dominate them and bring them down to size, right? It's not lost on me that even though Mars is moving into Leo, we are dead smack in the middle of Scorpio season. And that can be something that Scorpio placements really struggle with. Understanding the difference between loving someone and trying to possess them or dominate them. That is a struggle that some of you guys are going to be really confronted with this week. Some of you guys engage in actions that you believe are loving, and you're really smothering a person and bullying them and pushing them away. And you really got to look at yourself and be real about whether or not you're doing it. Now, some of you guys have been able to get away with this bullshit for a long time because you're beautiful and you're charming. Leo energy, Sun card, baby gets what baby wants, right? You're so used to things working out in your favor that you may have developed a little bit of an entitlement around that. Hierophant. You have gone from being this charismatic, loving, vivacious thing to being a tyrant over the people you claim to love. And that is a debilitation of the Hierophant. They can abuse their power. They can abuse their position. They can be really dogmatic and honestly gaslight people in ways that are very, very brutal to the person that has to survive that, right? So this is a week where you really got to ask yourself, am I pouring the kind of love into people that I would want to get back, right? Just talked about this card. Just talked about the 6 of Pentacles. A really slept on card. The businessman has walked the path, so they understand. That's why they know it's not even about giving to people discriminately. They know what to give to other people because they understand the love and the support that they needed at one point in their life, right? So in terms of love this week, really asking yourself, am I pouring into people in the ways that they need because I love them? Or am I doing things for people to hold it over their head and dominate them, to really be in my tyrant energy? Because if you're moving in a tyrant kind of way, you really cannot be surprised when niggas get up and want to leave you and go to the next thing and go on a journey without you. You got to be really careful about that shit. Are you loving or are you smothering? Those are two very, 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 very different things. And if you are smothering, you have to confront the brokenness in you. What is broken within you that is bringing you out of your ability to be a compassionate, nurturing leader? We know that when King of Cups is in alignment, they are very compassionate, they're loving, they're understanding, they're empathetic. They can love people the way that they are while holding them accountable and not beating up on them. But a debilitated King of Cups is emotionally manipulative. They're going to throw your past in your face. They are going to engage in victim bully behavior, where very narcissistic victim bully behavior, right? Where one moment they are abusing you and the next moment they're pretending like they don't understand what they've done to you. And if you are doing things like that, again, if you are bullying and manipulating people in order to dominate them, and you are doing so through the manipulation of their emotions and gaslighting, you really can't be fucking surprised that people don't want to love you if they don't want to fuck with you. So this is a week where you really, really got to take accountability. You really got to look at yourself. Am I loving in the ways that I want to be loved? And am I loving in a way that nurtures people and makes them want to take me into the next chapter of their life? Or am I setting up a situation where people feel like they just got to run away from me? Right? Here's the thing, and I said this to someone earlier. 9 of Pentacles is a dope energy in that it means that you are independently wealthy, that your needs are met, that you know how to take care of yourself. But we're not supposed to stay in a 9 of Pentacles energy all the time. 9 of Pentacles can devolve into loneliness very quickly. A debilitation of 9 of Pentacles is, so you know how people make the joke about, I'm a strong Black woman, I don't need no man? That's 9 of Pentacles. That's a debilitation of 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, you may have some nice things. You may be able to make a little bit of money, but you're going to be a lonely bitch. You're going to have to spend a lot of time in the forest by yourself. You're going to have a lot of wins where people don't pick up the phone and congratulate you because you've pushed everyone away from you. So this is a week where we really evaluate what love entails and whether or not our egos are costing us love. When we see people moving in a way that we don't understand, or when we see people moving or elevating past us, are we making ourselves valuable in their lives in a loving way so that they want to keep us around, so that they want us to witness their elevation? Or are we so busy trying to kick them and bring them down to size and humiliate them in front of other people and dominate them, right? Are we moving like tyrants? And if we are, we got to take ownership of that shit, because that's what's pushing people away from us. Are we doing the work of pouring into people based off of what we know people need from our own experiences? Are we showing up in a loving way where we want to see people elevate? Or again, are we trying to kick people's back in? Because our egos are so big, we can be the only ones. You cannot be in a relationship that is based on love, whether it is a romantic relationship, whether it's familial, whether it is friendship, whether it's a business partnership. You cannot be in a relationship with somebody and make them feel like the only way that you are satisfied is if it's a win-lose and you are the only person that's allowed to win. If your ego is that big, then you cannot be surprised that you are lonely. And you really got to ask yourself, am I going to choose my ego, or am I going to choose community? Am I going to choose love? Am I going to choose healthy connections? That is something that we need to confront this week when it comes to love. All righty. I am now at the end of the weekly reading. I'm going to take a few questions. It's 8:15. I'll try to do... I'm not going to say I'll get to everybody. Some of y'all be thinking that I'm going to be able to get to everybody, and y'all will come in here and ask 9 questions back to back. I will do as many as I can. And then if I don't get to you, please don't take it personally, okay? As you guys are typing out your questions, I will go ahead and give updates. I'll start with the newest thing that's available. This year has gone by way too fucking fast because it's already November. And you guys know that November is when I bring out the yearly forecast readings. So I've already started the 2025 forecast readings. Those are readings that I do every year just to give people a heads up on what they need to be prepared for, what's in store for them in the coming year, based off of their natal chart, if they get the full reading, or based off of the wisdom of tarot in my bones if they get the mini reading. So the full forecast comes with a natal chart reading. That natal chart reading gives you insight into your individual natal chart. And then I also use the information of your natal chart to make predictions around what you're going to experience over the year. So if you are somebody that's trying to move, if you are trying to get married, if you are trying to call in a new career, if you are trying to get pregnant, any of these big life decisions, you really want to go after that in the year 2025, I strongly suggest you get the full forecast reading because it's very specific to your natal chart. Now, if you just want a general heads up about what's going on in your life and you feel like you can't afford the full forecast, there is a mini version that comes with just tarot readings, and it has 4 spreads as opposed to the 3. Price information is on my website. Click the links below so that you can get more information about that and you can book it. I have also extended my spooky season sale for an additional couple of days for those of you who want to book the forecast reading. So not only is it at an introductory price right now, but you can still use the code SPOOKY, SPOOKY, to get an additional 25% off of this reading. That code applies to all the readings on my website as well as all of the classes. But if you want to get the forecast, use it for the forecast. But you can use it for the ancestral life path readings, dream interpretation readings, love readings, general readings, whatever. Okay. So those are some things I'm working on. This is the final week. Some of you guys know that my goddaughter, dream alchemist and overall bad bitch, Hunsi Lovana, is teaching her first workshop about dream alchemy. She's going to be teaching you how to interpret dreams, cultural and religious significance of dreams, how to have better sleep hygiene so that you can use your dreams for manifestation work. A lot of people think immediately of dream interpretation, but if you are a dream alchemist, you can literally use your dreams to do magic. And she's going to teach you guys that over the course of 4 weeks. So if you would like to learn more about that, if you would like to sign up for the workshop, we are taking participants until November 8th. The workshop starts November 10th. More information about that is at the link below. I strongly encourage you to sign up. What else are we working on? Final round of Rich Spirit for the year of 2024 is happening December 7th through the 10th. If you want to sign up for Rich Spirit to call in abundance, prosperity, release yourself of any financial, spiritual blockages you deal with, click the link below, learn more about the ritual, sign up for it, all that jazz, okay? So those are the main things I'm working on at this time. I mentioned earlier that the Charm School lecture series is returning this Wednesday. We're going to be talking about what it looks like to end friendships in adulthood in a way that not only allows you to hold on to your maturity in adulthood, but that leaves you with a sense of peace. Every friendship breakup does not have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be harmful. It doesn't have to be reckless. And I'm going to be talking about what it looks like to end friendships in a way that is spiritually and socially responsible. So join me here this Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. EST, okay? What type of reading do I need to find out my spiritual gifts in life? The ancestral life path reading. That would be the reading that you would book. If you go to my website, Soleil, SOLE, conjureshop.com, you can book an ancestral life path reading with me. Again, there's about 3 more days of that code being functional. So if you use the code at checkout, SPOOKY, you will receive an additional 25% off. Okay? So let's see what questions you all have for me this week. Again, love offerings are not a requirement, but if you want to show your appreciation, you can send one at my Cash App or PayPal scrolling below. Let's see. I'm getting confused. Hold on a second. Kinetic Gigi, will my ancestors help me with rent? I ask for forgiveness. Okay, Kinetic Gigi, we got you. Angels and ancestors. Will connect Gigi's ancestors help them with rent? She wants to repent and ask for forgiveness. Will they be able to assist her with her financial concerns around meeting rent? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Org Diva Mommy said, and her ancestral life path readings are amazing. Thank you, baby. That means the world to me. I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel. And if any of you guys have had your readings recorded with me, you guys have probably heard me throughout the reading say, am I making sense? Does that resonate? Because honestly, and if any of you guys read tarot or do any kind of divination, you understand what I'm about to say. I don't fully know what I'm saying half the time when I'm saying it again, because I'm serving as a vessel for spirit. So when you compliment me for my readings, it doesn't make me feel good just because I'm a person. It helps me understand that, you know, I'm really doing something right, because my spirits are giving me wisdom. And so I want to thank you. And I will continue to be disciplined so that continues to happen. Let's see. I was about to give you a full reading. Hold on. We'll be here all night if I do 6 cards for everybody. So let's not even play like that. Okay. You are going to have to pray fervently with an open heart. You are going to have to not only pray fervently with an open heart, I would suggest that you do some sort of liquid fast, at least for the next 2 days. And you're going to have to put the work in. They will be able to support you. It's not going to happen the way you want it to, and it's not going to happen as quickly as you want it to. You have not seen relief yet because they are making you suffer a little bit. They are holding you accountable. You need to be in suspension around this, because there's a lesson, particularly about overindulgence and recklessness, that you need to learn in this situation. So Justice card is coming up because it's karma. It's getting back from a situation what you put into it. You knew that you needed this money and you wasted it on other things. And so now you have to deal with the discomfort from that, right? Ace of Cups, the heart chakra card, that's literally where the ancestors live in us genetically, in our heart. So you're going to have to talk to your heart. You're also going to have to do some fasting. I would recommend that you do a 48-hour liquid fast, so that way you can hear clearly, because that's another thing. They warn you a lot and you don't listen, but that's because your heart is literally clogged. So you're going to have to do a heart chakra fast. But yeah, they're making you suffer on purpose. 4 of Cups, the card of the hangover. You overindulge, and now you have to sit in the discomfort and the hangover and just be in suspension for a little bit right now. It's not fun. It's difficult. So the short answer is, will there be a resolution to this situation? Absolutely. It's not going to look like what you want it to. And even though you're dealing with this discomfort, you still have spiritual growth to do, and you are obligated to do it, okay? You're always clear and precise, like you've always told us. Take what you need from this. So just because one may not understand what you're saying, you're resonating with somebody. Okay, thank you for that, Miss Renee. I appreciate that. They really are. So are the yearly. Thank you for Dossie. I love the yearly forecast readings. I'm not gonna lie, they're a lot of work. Like, I'll be tired. The winter takes a lot out of me to do the forecast, but I love the optimism and the hopefulness of the forecast readings. That's why they're so fun for me. And then when people come back to me the next year, so I don't know if Danielle is on here tonight, but I have a client named Danielle, and it's been so dope to follow her on Instagram, because it's like every week I see some shit happening in her life that we went over in her forecast. And it's such a blessing to see you guys' progress in that way. The forecast is like anything else. It works if you work it. So I have also had some clients that don't heed the advice of the forecast, and they end up feeling that shit. So, but it is a powerful reading. It's one of my favorite services to offer. I love winter and the winter holidays in general, but the forecasts also have played a huge part in my love for this time of year. Let's see. Ami ASMR said that her hours have been cut and she wants to know how to make the best use of her free time. First of all, that's a beautiful question, Ami. I love that question because I know a lot of people, if their hours got cut, they would just choose to panic over it. And you are transmuting it and being like, I just need to know what I need to do to use this time for my benefit. So I love the question. Let's see what answers are in store for you. Elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Ami need at this time about how to make the best use of her additional free time? What can she do with the increase of personal time now that her hours at work have been cut? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I don't know if you consider yourself to be an herbalist already, Ami, but I am seeing that this is a time where you really need to work on, if not directly your relationship to herbalism, then your skills of alchemy, right? What I'm seeing here is that also there is something that you do in community. If it's not like a side business, it's some sort of platform that you have, right? Um, so really using this time to strengthen your relationship to this side hustle or to this side investment that you care a lot about, because it's the thing that impacts your reputation. It's the thing that you're most known for, more so than your work, right? Very first card we have is Temperance. So again, really sitting with yourself, sitting in meditation and reflection so that you can be aware of the different areas of your life that need to be married together, that need to be worked together spiritually so that you can get a different result. We also have Six of Wands, which is a card of influence. It's a card of respect from the people around you in your peer group, admiration for people who witnessed your progress. That, along with the Queen of Wands, talks about you getting it to a place where you are deeply comfortable with being that bitch, right? With being somebody that has influence and that people respect very deeply. So this is a time where you, your spirits would really like to see you work on your confidence. And I don't mean that in like a shallow, not a shallow, but like a surface level way where it's like you need to be doing affirmations and shit like that. This is more about understanding the areas of your life that are deeply connected that you don't really give that much thought to, and how that plays a role over the kind of influence you have over other people, because you are highly influential. Six of Wands means that you have a lot of influence. Queen of Wands is somebody who's deeply comfortable with getting a lot of attention. So how can you use that and alchemize that for yourself so that you are seeing the benefits of that in all areas of your life as opposed to different little pockets? That's what I'm seeing that they would like you to focus on. Oh, I'm glad that you loved the retreat. The retreat was something that I was afraid to do. And it ended up being one of my biggest blessings and honestly one of my highlights of the past year. I cannot wait for the one in April. That means the world to me. I really thank you for saying that to me, Orb Diva Mommy. Y'all not gonna get me to crying on here. I'm not gonna do it. It's been probably a couple of months since I done fucked around and cried on the live. Y'all not gonna make me do it tonight, but thank you. That was really sweet, and I didn't even know I needed to hear that. Or Diva Mommy, I have a court case this week. Will it go well for my family? All right, give me 1 second. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. Ancestors. What does Org Diva Mama need to know about her court case this week? Will it go in her favor? If so, how? If it's not currently looking like it's in her favor, is there anything she can do between now and the court case to bring favor towards her? Anyone some shares? Deeply appreciated. The details for the retreat in April. Lovana, Fradasi, Bertal, I know you three are here. I don't, can you tell me if the link is in the description? I believe the link for Sacred Alignment, which is the April retreat, should be in the description. If it's not, I will see if one of my godchildren will be kind enough to post it. Okay. This is the first spread that I've needed clarifiers for today. Clarify the hangman in reverse. What wisdom is the hangman in reverse trying to bring us, ancestors? I'm ready for April. I heard there was a time to be had in ATL. So we're not having it in ATL this year. The Divine Feminine Retreat will be in Houston, which is one of my other favorite cities in the entire world. I have not had good barbecue in years, so we will have a barbecue at the retreat since we gonna be in Houston. But I feel like it's gonna be a blast as well. I have an idea for an in-person event at the end of 2025, and I'm not gonna announce it yet because I want to see what spirit opens up. But hopefully there will be because the Divine Feminine Retreat is very much for women and their healing. And I do want to do a general hoodoo retreat. So we'll see if that happens in 2025 or if it happens in 2026. And if it does, then that one will be in Atlanta. Okay. Manage your temper. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that, yes, this should go well for you and your family, but you are likely to hear some things that you don't want to hear about yourself or the situation in the process of the court case. It is really important that you manage your emotions, and even if you are hearing things that you know are not true, that you not have any kind of explosive reaction to it. So you have to be really strategic, okay? Strength card. Strength is doing it scared. Showing up and being your most powerful, even when you are scared and even when you are nervous, okay? We have the hangman in reverse, which talks about doing things the same, not being aware, trying to fight wisdom and information is being given to you about your situation that can force you into engaging in behavior that does not help you. The clarifier over it we got is the Sun card and the Fool card, right? So you're gonna have to manage your ego and allow yourself to not be worried about looking like a fool or somebody playing you like a fool. Somebody's gonna say something during this court case that makes you feel like somebody's playing in your face, and it's not important. So don't have any big reactions to it. So if you can show up and be strategic, if you can be more focused on winning the war than you are like winning the battle and being in tit for tat, then I do see this going in your favor. But just manage your emotions, manage your immediate reactions, because I can see a situation where someone's trying to play on your fear to make you act impulsively, and that won't work out for you. Short answer, yes, if you can control yourself or if you can make sure that you don't fall into anybody's hands as they're trying to play games about you. I hope that makes sense. I want to go, but it's on my hubby's birthday. Sinitra, let's talk about that because I feel like we can work that out. I feel like we can have that happen to where you can still be present and still celebrate him because you're not that far from the city. So let's talk about this offline, okay? Let's see. I'm going to try to do at least 2 more tonight, and then I'm going to get off of here. Let's see. I guess I got some growing to do because a lot of people don't get to leave and come back when they get ready, especially if I don't know the Okay. I mean, Miss Renee, if you have a question specifically about that, I'd love to answer it for you because I don't really know what's being expressed right there. Yappa Yahoo. I'm gonna do Yappa Yahoo, and then I'm gonna do Monique, and then if I have the capacity, I'll try to do one more after Monique. Will I have a lot of opportunities when moving to New York? First of all, congratulations for moving to New York. I used to think I wanted to move to New York, and then I started visiting New York in my 20s, and I realized that like that notion of a city that never sleeps, that's cute in theory, but if you have the like boundary issues, you may pass out on the streets of New York. It's too many things to do. It's too busy for me. My sisters ain't just sitting master spirits off with me. What does Yappa Yahoo need to know about their experiences that they will have in New York? Will this move result in them having an increase in opportunities? And if so, what do those opportunities look like? Any wisdom shared? It's deeply appreciated. Yes, you're gonna, not only are you going, and it's funny because I mentioned about passing out on the street, you're gonna have a lot of opportunities come to you. So temperance is something that you're gonna have to really work on, Yaku. You're gonna have to be deliberate. Not only do I see you having a lot of opportunities, these are gonna be opportunities that you literally dreamed about since the time that you were a child. So this is dreams coming true. You're gonna have moments of deja vu because the nostalgia that you're gonna feel from being, I'm not gonna cry. Y'all keep playing with me. I'm not gonna cry. There's gonna be something really beautiful and healing in you, seeing yourself manifest these dreams that you had when you were a child. And it's gonna be its own specific kind of nostalgia because you're gonna be living the things that little you used to sit around and fantasize about. It's going to be a lot of opportunity coming at you all the time. So learning what wave to ride and what to let go is going to require a lot of you, but you are capable of it as long as you can accept when you should slow down. So you're going to have to teach yourself that it's okay to not go all the time, that rest is an essential for you to have the focus for battle and for you to have the clarity to go after the things you want. But yeah, baby, I see a lot of opportunity coming to you in New York, and you're going to be able to live out a childhood dream that's going to bring you a lot of joy. I am excited for you. Let's see what Monique's question was, and then I'll try to get to at least one more person after Monique. Let's see. I may have to have moderators in the future to read questions or highlight questions for me. So give me like a week to figure out what that looks like. Today is the anniversary of my brother's passing. I'm sorry to hear that. Not sure if it's appropriate to ask now, but can he or my ancestors point me on the right career path? Let's see. I'm just gonna ask if your brother has any advice for you. I hope that'll be helpful. Okay. With me on this anniversary of the passing of Monique's brother. What wisdom does he want to pour into her about her career choices, life path, purpose, etc.? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You are very welcome, Yapa, and keep us posted. I'm excited for what's opening up for you. He wants you to know that it's okay with tasking him with things. You don't task him with things. He is actually, and I don't know if excited is the right word, but it's the one that's coming up for me right now. He's excited to be able to do more for you. I think for him, he would like to see you. So I'm getting an energy that you can do anything you want to do, honestly. And I'm not saying that in like a corny way. He really means that for you. You can do whatever you want to do. So what he would like to see you to do is just get really clear about what you want. Do some journaling, do some dreaming, do some daydreaming, and allow yourself to really think and dream big. And once you get clear about what it is you want to do in terms of career path, turn that into prayers to him. Talk to him. Let him be a part of your spiritual discipline and your spiritual routines. Make it a habit to talk to him about your dreams, right? Because he has wisdom that he can give you from his vantage point that will allow you to alchemize your dreams and your knowledge into something that creates a reality for yourself, right? So that's what I'm seeing. He wants you don't task him enough. You don't ask him for support and clarity. He would like to see you incorporate that more into your habits because there is wisdom that he has to give you. So your specific question is, what wisdom does he have around your career path? The wisdom he has is that you don't pray enough about your career path and you don't pray enough to him. So the benefit of having an ancestor that you were close to while they were alive and whose name you can call is that you can literally task him specifically. And he's ready for it. He's giving you permission for that, okay? I'm going to do Kenny, and then I know I said I was only going to do one more, but Tashana, that's my baby, so I'm going to answer her question too, and then I'm going to get out of here. Don't say I don't love y'all, because I've been on here an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm still going. So, again, if you want to show your support, go ahead and send a love offering. Kenny J wants to know, do they have a hex on their career, and what can they do to get out of the stagnant energy? Is Kenny's career hex? If so, what is the nature of the hex? How can they get out of the stagnant energy that they are feeling as it relates to work and career? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Cards are jumping out for you. Okay. I'm not going to pull any because we had 5 cards fall out. You are holding on to something in your career that is against your destiny. I don't know if you make a lot of money in your work or something, but it's like there's something low vibrational or ego based that's keeping you in your position or in your current job. Spirit is encouraging you to, your dissatisfaction and your stagnation comes from the fact that you ain't supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there. And it's coming up now because Spirit is encouraging you to leave while you have the option to. Don't let the money, don't let the ego, whatever the low-based attachment is that's keeping you there, don't let that keep you there because it can result in you being fired or let go. Move now while you have things working in your favor. We have the Wheel of Fortune, which is destiny, divine timing, along with the Tower. So you have this discomfort for a reason. Listen to this discomfort and move before you get knocked out of your position. You probably like the stability of what you're doing, even though it's not helping you. So you need to think from a place of Capricorn energy. What is going to help me in terms of my bigger career goal, right? My bigger reputation. Think like the father of the zodiac and move that way. The work you're doing right now is not legacy building, and you need to be focused on legacy building. So I say give yourself 90 days. 90 days to 180 days, so 3 to 6 months. and really do what you need to do to move out of where you are. The long and the short of it is you feel stagnation where you are because you don't like it and you don't want to be there. So listen to that energetic pull to leave before you get pushed out. And this has happened to me before. There's nothing worse than being in a job that you don't want to be at in the first place, but you feel too defeated to look for something else. And then the next thing you know, you're being pushed out of your job. That will make you want to punch one of them white bitches in the face. So leave while you can do so instead of being pushed out of an environment that you don't like anyway. Okay. And we're going to end with Beautiful Surprise, who wanted to know, will they be able to afford the retreat this year financially? Let's see. Sisters, angels, and city masters, spiritual walk with me. Will Beautiful Surprise be able to afford the retreat in April? If so, what does that look like? If it doesn't look like it at this time, is there anything that they can do to change the situation so that it works out in their favor? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You're very welcome, Kenny. You're welcome, Monique. Yeah. So I accidentally pulled 4 cards, but I'm going to read all 4 cards. You will be able to afford it. It will take some hard work. That hard work is temporary. This is also about you learning yourself and challenging yourself around your prosperity magic. You've learned too much. And we've talked about this before. I think sometimes because you are going to be a mentorship, but because you're not a mentorship yet, sometimes you can downplay the lessons you've already learned and invested. Be careful around that. That is about an emotional confidence thing. But what I'm seeing from this spread is, yes, you can afford it. You will be able to afford it. Will it involve some hard work? Yes, but you also have to stop telling yourself that you can't afford things. That's a spiritual or an emotional deficit. 10 of Wands, temporary hard work that pays off. So yes, you may have to work some additional hours. You may have to take on like a side something that you don't like. There will be a little bit of additional work in it, but it positions you to learn some powerful lessons or to stand in the strength of some powerful lessons that you've already learned about prosperity, right? Page of Pentacles is the apprentice. So they learn by doing. You learn to really stand in the power of your ability to call in what you want financially by trusting and doing the things you've already learned about financial wealth and abundance. And then we have the Sun card, which is money and joy and Leo and hitting your goals and getting what you want. So yes, I see this working out in your favor, but you also have to be careful about how you talk to yourself. And the fact that you have a fear in November that you won't be able to afford something by April, that's an emotional deficit, right? So in a King of Cups way, you got to look at, okay, what is it emotionally that makes me believe that I don't have control over the situation? Because that's a bigger obstacle to you not being able to afford it than anything else. Short answer, yes, you will be there. You will be there. You will be able to afford it. It may take a little hard work, but you will be there. Love you all. Love you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here for almost an hour and a half with me at this point. I hope that you enjoyed this. Feel free to revisit it throughout the week. Share the link with people that you feel would resonate with it. I will be back here Wednesday to do the next Charm School lecture. I truly hope you all will be here with me at that time. If you want to book a forecast reading, the links are below. If you want to book an ancestral life path reading, the links are below. If you want to get a discount off of either of those readings or any of my services, you have until the 7th to use the code SPOOKY, SPOOKY. I will see y'all Wednesday. And until then, I want you to take care. Again, thank you. Have a great night. Bye.